Hi, my name's James Pikeaway. Welcome to the James Cast and a Nightline replay episode. For 12 years, I was the host of Nightline on Dubai Eye 103.8 FM, and I did hundreds of interviews and hundreds of nightly call-in shows. In 2016, Stephany McKay, then Stephanie Kaur, we decided to have a little chat about personal debt and open up the phone lines. Well, 2016, 2025, not much has changed. People are struggling with their bank debt. They're struggling with ways to get out of that debt, but there are solutions. This was a great conversation. So why not sit back, relax, and take in a little bit of Dubai nostalgia and Nightline from 2016 with Stephanie Kaur and I, now Stephany McKay, as we talk debt. We're talking about debt. We want to know about your debt. Are you managing to live debt-free, or are you finding yourself getting into that debt trap? Credit cards, line of credit, borrowing. How are you managed to survive this whole process? That's what we're talking about this evening. And joining me in studio, co-hosting this evening, is Stephanie Kaur. Welcome back. I said it's been 18 months. You said it's been less than that.
It's been a lot less than that. Feels like 18 months, and it's good to be back. Thank you for having me.
For those of you who are aficionados of Nightline, you'll remember Stephanie used to join us for a weekly roundup of things to do in Dubai and beyond.
Yes, that was very true.
That was very true. Yeah. But tonight we're talking debt.
Yes, a bit different.
This is a huge issue, and we all remember back in some of the heydays. We also remember when there was a little bit of a dip in the economy, and things have picked up a bit, and which is nice, and people learn some lessons, but when you start talking to people, when you start, as Richard Dean would say, you drill down a little bit into what's going on with our personal finances, it's kind of scary.
It is. And for a lot of people, it is a growing problem. So,
and how do we manage that? It becomes the problem. When folks say to me, hey, James, you want to come out to that buffet? Typically, I say, the buffet, we're talking like 400 dirhams plus for one person. Yeah. I said, I got my wife, that's me, that's 800 dirhams plus. If I bring along my son, we're talking 1,200 dirhams for lunch. And I look at people and I say, can't afford it. Yeah. I just can't do it. But I've been to these brunches where, I've planned accordingly. Mm-hmm. I've been to these brunches and I've seen people putting down the plastic, and I'm going, man, that's
going on a credit card.
That goes on a credit card.
Yeah.
And are we paying off the complete balance, or
are you doing this every week?
Are you doing this every week and going for the paying off your monthly minimum, and then churning up 35% interest rate on that card, and that happens month after month until you've extended that card, and then hold on, get a new card from another bank.
It carries on and it piles up. It's not good. It's not a good trap to fall into.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear if you're finding yourself getting pulled down into the debt trap, and we want to hear your story and how it's happened. Because I think on one side, when we share these things, when we talk a little bit about it, people realize, man, I'm getting myself into a pit. I need to get out, but I don't want other people to be jumping in here with me. And so when you hear other people's stories, it might be a nice wake-up call. And if you've managed to been down in the old debt pit, and you've managed to climb out of it, and you're living that life. In fact, we've got several people who've already come through on Twitter, and you can do that in a couple ways. JamesED_me or Nightline DXB is a great route, or use the Facebook channel for the station, Dubai Eye. We'd love to get all your comments in, but we've got people who've said, look, I cut up my credit cards. I stopped using them. I don't take loans. I don't do it. If I don't have the money, I don't do it. It's as simple as that. And it can be hard. It can be hard. I mean,
because the temptation's there all the time as well. I mean, there's been numerous people that I've spoken to that are constantly being told, from the bank, you should get a credit card every other week, despite rejecting it. So the temptation's there, and it's really great.
And I remember not so long ago, I got one of these fancy credit cards, and because I wanted the electronic device that came with it that broke. And so I got the card and I never activated it. Well, the bank hounded me forever to activate that card.
Yeah.
I finally activated the card. I never used it. And then I got a bill telling me, oh yeah, you know what, now you owe us, several hundred dirhams, because I guess the first year of the card was free, and then the second year there was a service charge.
Oh.
And so I ended up calling up the bank and saying, you know what, I never used this card. I want to cancel it, please.
Yeah, because you still got charged for it.
And they, you know what, I got to give credit to the bank. They did cancel it, and they reversed the charge.
Oh, that's good.
But the point was, I wondered how many people got these cards. There must have been some deal at the time. This is years ago. There must have been some special deal. Got the cards and then just started charging like crazy, because I think it had a really healthy limit as well.
Yeah. I've heard that some banks do give like 3 times your salary.
Yikes.
That's not really practical.
Well, imagine if you're getting 3 times your salary, you've got school fees to pay. I mean, you don't have any school fees to pay by this, but there's a whole group of people who've got school fees to pay. Maybe I've been doing some reading, and there's some really scary articles about people who exactly this. They had 3 times their salary on a credit card, then they got sick. They had to leave their job.
Yeah.
Then they're paying off medical expenses, and they can't service the debt on their cards. And then they default, and the bank wants the money back.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game. And I was speaking to some parents earlier, and one of them had said to me that they had to take out a personal loan to pay for fees.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I was just like, wow.
I mean, I feel for everyone who's in this position. You know, our costs are skyrocketing in some ways. Fuel prices are going down. This is excellent. Some food prices have stabilized. Some are going down. They're capped, which is great. But many of the service charges we have, services as in education, medicine, all of these things, medical care, these costs are going up. Rents are going up. In fact, I've heard the ads, just like you have, where people are being encouraged to get a personal loan to pay their rent, or encouraged to get a personal loan to pay their education fees. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. You're getting the loan to pay the rent because you got to pay it in 1 check or 2 check or whatever. Are you going to be able to pay off the loan? And are you going to be able, in a timely fashion, are you going to be able to pay off the interest on that loan?
Yeah,
or
before you get into more trouble.
Or is it going to necessitate the bank at some point saying, you know what, you got the loan, we'll give you a little bit more. You're paying off so well, we'll give you a bit more. And I get worried about this, Stephanie.
Yeah, it is very scary. And additionally, there is the question of, because expenses to live has increased, have salaries been increased as well? And like, again, when we were speaking about it earlier with a few of my friends, and what we found were people that have come here quite newly, so this year, well, not this year, last year, late last year, they're offered better packages than the people that have been here for a lot longer. So
that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, when with that comparison, we were like, well.
So you're getting a better package, which means you can afford to, maybe it covers more schooling, maybe it covers more for your housing, allows you to have a little bit more disposable income. People who've been here for a while are caught in an older cycle of contracts, harder to renegotiate until you quit and leave and come back if you can. Oh, man.
And additionally, people that have been here longer and have banked in the UAE for a long time will get more of these offers for credit cards and personal loans. I know that you have to be with a bank for at least 3 to 6 months before you can get any form of personal loan or anything like that, or you need to be with your company for a certain period of time. So again, there is that issue as well.
I'd love to hear from some call center folks from banks or some of the bankers out there. I know you're all listening, and just how the conscience works when you're calling up folks trying to get them to take on debt, knowing that this could pose a problem for them down the road as they have to repay it, or that they might have a whole bunch of debt racking up. We want to hear from you. Actually, we want to hear your stories about debt. Have you managed to tame it? Are you able to say no? Are you able to live within your means and making it work? Or are you getting trapped? Are you one of those people who needs to get the new car, needs to get the new phone, needs to be dining out frequently, and is noticing that, A, you have no money left at the end of the month or partway into the month? credit cards are your best friend. Maybe you've got the personal line of credit. Maybe you've got a loan. If you're struggling, we want to hear from you and what you're, how you're dealing with that. And if you're not struggling, you've sorted it. We want to hear from you as well. It's the debt show is what it is. A great opportunity for you to get involved. Stephanie Kaur is co-hosting with me this evening. My name's James Pikeway. The Arabian Gazette got a stat here. $114.9 billion of total personal debt, potentially, in the UAE 2012.
That is a very high figure.
1 out of 3 of us has 3 credit cards.
Oh.
12.7 billion in checks apparently bounced in 2012. I don't know if these facts are correct, but it's come from the Arabian Gazette. So I don't know. That seems like an awful lot of money, but that's what they're suggesting. Debt is the question. Personal debt is what we're talking about this evening. We want to know how you're surviving. Are you doing well, or are you finding yourself getting drowned in the debt pool? Batters on line 3. Let's head to the phones. Good evening. Welcome to Nightline.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the show.
Hi, James. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. And guess what?
Tell me.
I am now coming from the bank applying for a loan to cover my credit card.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. This is a bad and a good thing. So,
and guess what?
Are you cutting up those credit cards?
And guess what?
What?
For the second time.
Oh, man.
The second time.
Yeah.
So but this is a good thing. You're consolidating your debt, right?
I guess yeah. But I just want to share my story. Maybe someone
please
is listening.
Yeah.
So I started. My salary was very low when I started. It was like 5,000.
Okay.
And I need a credit card to when I need something. I don't need to borrow from someone or something like that. So, and to make my little expenses. So I started with a credit card of a limit 16,000.
Okay.
But I spent it out. I dried in about 3 months.
3 months? You already were double your salary.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then I was just giving most of my salary to the credit card.
Wow.
So, and then I reuse it again. So, unfortunately, I found another job.
Okay.
Triple my salary, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's good.
But when I started my job, I already have this credit card problem. So I thought maybe I need another credit card. So I end up with 5 credit cards.
No.
And after 1 year, I finished all the credit cards. All of them were minus 1,000, minus 200, like that. So I applied for a loan to cover the credit card.
Yeah.
And after that, everything was okay. I left one credit card. I canceled all the 4, but I left one credit card. But then I have some circumstances where I need to use the credit card again. I again used it unwisely and end up having the same problem. And right now, I'm in my car coming from the bank, applying for a loan to cover my credit card again.
So you've done this before. You know where you're at now. You're going to have the clean slate, sort of, because now you're going to have to pay off the loan. What's your plan? What's your plan to not do this again?
Actually, that's what I was asking myself. Why did I do that again for the second time?
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you have the credit card and you purchase things from different places. For example, I purchased from electronics, and I calculated I will pay only 2,000 a month if I installed them, and then I purchased other items, and I calculated that it's only 500.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't. When the statement comes, you find that you have a huge number of money that you need to pay, and you have to write out your credit card.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to cut my credit card and cancel it.
I think that's what I think you have to do that.
Definitely.
I think you have to do it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful. It's a crutch, but you have to cut it up and just be done with it and say, you know what, clean slate. If I can't afford it, I'm not doing it.
What advice would you give to anyone looking to get a credit card?
Yeah, but looking at this now, as you look back, what's the advice?
Well, the advice is when you have the credit card, you feel like you have a power.
Yeah. You
can purchase whatever you like, and you can achieve your dreams. The mobile phone you like, the car you like, you purchase things to your friends. But what I want everyone to know, when you have the credit card in your pocket, when you use it, try to remember. I know that that's very hard. Try to remember you are borrowing at that time, and you don't need to borrow unless you really you really need to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an emergency, like medical emergency, or
Yeah. You know what, Badr? What I want you to do, 6 months from now, put it on the calendar. I want you to follow up with us. Let us know how it's going. Let us know how you're making out. We want to hear. We want to hear how it's working.
Yeah,
I'll try.
Keep us updated.
Yeah. I'll try. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Bye. Ruben's come through and he says, "Man, what a telling testimony." And he says it's gutsy.
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh.
I feel sorry for the guy, but
So
but he's learning. He's like he said, he knows what he's got to do.
I really hope that this is it now, and no more credit cards.
Let's head to line 1. Joel is holding for us. Joel, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, hi, good evening, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So, credit card debt, just personal debt. We just heard from you heard Badr, the caller that we just had. He's drowning. He's doing it again. What's your take on all this personal debt stuff?
You know, to shed an honest light on the way the system's constructed, and I hate to go down this line, but the way the system's set up and why these bankers constantly want to dish out loans.
Yeah. And
it's framed, from what I understand, from the banking system in the United States, from Wall Street and similar to London.
Yeah, but it's a global phenomenon. I mean, I listen to the news and stuff from Canada, and it's the same. And personal debt is just out of control, and it's almost like a self-perpetuating system. Get some debt on the cards, pay off the cards with a personal loan, then start all over again.
And absolutely, and you think how is it that individual basis where we get like this? But let's look up the ladder. When you go all the way up to the ladder, the way it works is that the Federal Reserve is able to make, and the central banking, they're able to make these loans.
Yeah.
And then when they pass it down to the banks, they basically made it for the last 6 years. They were making it at hardly any interest.
Yeah.
So when the banks come down to us, we're dishing out 18, 15, 20%.
I think some of the cards, I was looking at some of the numbers, 35% interest by the time you compound everything. I mean, it's crazy numbers.
But you look at specifically the United States, they're 18, 19 trillion dollars in debt.
Yeah.
That when you put that into a personal basis, let's say in thousands of dollars, that's unsustainable for anybody.
Yeah.
Or even in the hundreds of thousands. So if they can't do it, it trickles down to us. Now, why is it that these banks are able to do that? They have a system called fractional reserve banking, meaning that you like to say that, oh, you're taking loans from other people in the community and invest it in your ideas or process or in your career. But that's not the way it works. They're taking basically futures times 10.
Really?
So that's the way the system is set up, and that's why they're able to be so progressive in their lending. And in the end, you have regular folks like the caller before, they got to bite the bullet.
Yeah. How do you prevent yourself from falling into the trap? It's just through education, just through knowing how the whole process works, you realize, man, I can't go down that road.
It's the way the system is set up, it's set up so you should go down that road.
Yeah.
When you look at a business, 8 out of 10 businesses fail after 10 years. So at the first 3 years, maybe about 20%. 5 years, you got the 50%. And then reaching the 10-year mark, then you got about 70% of the business actually fail. They flop. So you got these loans that all of a sudden, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
But in the strict sense, the accountability, and you can't hold the people into that strict sense where they say you have to pay this off when the governments are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And that is strict honesty.
Man.
And for my personal self, I was fortunate to, I got my school paid off, and I was fortunate to land a great career for 6 years. And I bought my own house. It's all paid off. I'm 33 years old. My house is paid completely.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's good.
But now I just changed careers and I moved to Dubai, and I'm starting to get in the hole really quick.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, I got to do something quick before I start.
Yeah.
I start racking up that credit card debt at a higher interest, like you guys stated.
Yeah, no, and it's so easy to happen, isn't it? Hey, Joel, thank you very much for sharing with us, and look forward to talking to you again.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having this.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye. The number, if you want to get involved, 04-423-1010. Our SMS line is 4001. I mean, when you hear this, here's a guy, Joel. This guy, he knows what's going on. Fractional reserve banking, he's spot on. Did all the right things. 33, owns his own house. Clear, no debt. Boom, and he's getting into it's so easy. It's so easy to fall in.
Get pulled in.
It's like Batter said at the very beginning. It's just 1,000 here. It's just 500 there. It's just going to cover me.
Yeah, and before you know it, you have a huge bill.
How did we get into this? Is it the vanity side? How did we get here? Is what I want to know.
I think it could be as well, like linking back to the cost of living here.
Maybe.
And what people, like, everyone's so used to going out because it's almost like...
And you have to go out, right? I mean, in a previous life, that was what you did for a living. You went and reviewed clubs and restaurants. And the number of people who have to be out. My friends are going out. I can't go out. I can't be at home saying, like, I can't afford it.
And it's crazy, the amount of new venues that are opening. Yeah. So people automatically feel like that they need to be involved because it's almost become part of the lifestyle here.
Yeah.
So,
and
that all comes at a price, doesn't it?
And if we can't live into that lifestyle, maybe our salary just doesn't allow it. It doesn't allow us to go out every weekend and eat and enjoy and stuff and spend for other friends and gifts and whatever. Maybe once a month, but you can't show to your friends that, hey, you know what, I'm doing well, but I'm not doing that well. There's a lot of vanity out there. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe. And then the banks could call you at that time when you're having that thought. And that's when you give in. We
want to hear from you. We want to hear your success story. If you've managed to avoid the debt trap, how did you do it? We want to hear your success story. If you're struggling, we want to hear your story. What's going on? And share with others. So hopefully this is the little bit of wake-up call for them. You're listening to the Call-In Show. We're talking about debt. Stephanie Kaur joining us as the co-host this evening. We want to hear from you. We're talking about debt, how you've survived it or how you are not surviving it, where it's lesson night, really. We want to scare people into not using their credit cards through the true stories that you have, or celebrate those people and, again, give a lesson to folks like Batter, our first caller, and saying, look, you know what? There is light at the end of the tunnel. He's cutting up his credit cards right now. He called us from his car, Stephanie, as we heard, getting a loan to pay off his credit cards.
Yeah, straight from the bank.
Yeah.
So,
man, more texts have come through. Felice has said, Ekel Felice has said, the cards are a monster. A local man who just came out of credit cards, they're evil. He says it's just evil. Another one here says, one big problem with finances in Dubai is the fact that we have to pay all the services in advance. Examples, housing, school fees, which is not the way our salaries are paid.
Yes, like this is a very big issue, especially with a lot of people that I know. When looking for housing, a lot of places are asking for a yearly check
Yeah.
for the entire amount of rent, and this is when banks advise that you get a personal loan to cover that.
Yeah.
So,
So now you're not only are you paying, let's say you're on the low side and you got 100,000 dirhams. You're paying 100,000 dirhams for your apartment or condo or whatever, and you're paying an additional 7.5% on top of that, plus whatever. It's like, oh man, it's a no-win.
and that doesn't include the DWA as well.
Yeah.
So you've still got additional bills on
With the
top
fee,
of that.
with the fee.
And the agency fee.
Oh man.
Yeah. So,
And then we wonder how this whole debt thing happens. And do you just get the amount you need, or do you get 100,000? Well, why not get 150?
just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, just to have a little cushion, because you might want more. Let's head to the phone lines. We've got Mohammed joining us. Good evening. Thanks for holding, Mohammed. You want to share some advice?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been in the financial services for about 10 years or so.
Oh, man, you're the person no one likes.
So, honestly speaking, I had my credit card since day one of my career, to be honest. But
Okay.
Maybe because of the experience, I knew how to use it.
Okay, so how should we be using the credit card?
Exactly. Let me give you a simple example. For example, if your salary is 30,000, just a rough example.
Yep.
Don't get the card more than that limit. Just get it for 10,000.
But the bank wants to keep upping the limit. So if I'm making 30,000 and they're going to then want to, I get a little bit of credit on it, and then the bank's going to say, hey, you know what? You're such a good debt creator. We want to up your limit to 60,000. And then when you then they're going to say, you know what? You're such a good debt creator. We want to do it 90,000.
That's it. That's the trap actually. So people must be wise enough just to realize that credit cards, to be honest, can cause you severe hardships.
Yeah.
So you need to know how to manage it. For example, I had my credit card limit well below my salary, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way how you manage your expenses. So, but in any case, if you are in severe let's say financial damage right now, and it's too late just to get that limit lower. What I would do is just what our friend just has done, just cut your credit card into two pieces, throw it away.
Yeah.
Sit with yourself, see how you're managing your expenses, what exactly you spend your money for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you need to realize this is the time where I need to reduce this part or that part of my expenses.
Which is a hard thing to do, isn't it? When we sit with ourselves and say,
it is because it becomes a habit. You know what I mean? When you're spending, this is your habit. You can't change it easily.
Yeah.
But
and then you can start making excuses as well for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But taking a loan just to settle your credit card, this is something absolutely wrong, because you're moving from one debt, okay, you covered that, but you're in another debt now.
No, if I move, Mohammed, sorry to interrupt for just a second, but if I move to consolidate my debt and pay off the credit card, which is, a very, very high amount, go for my personal loan, which is a lower amount, but I cut up the credit card, that's a good thing though, right?
Yeah, I think it is a good thing. But, if you can manage the loan,
yeah,
and you can have monthly settlements with an amount that you can manage, that should be fine. Yeah, but consolidating all your debts, this might encourage you again just to, that's how it seems honestly, some of my friends, they take the loan, they spend some of the loan for personal stuff, and then they left about with a little amount of the loan, you know what I mean, and they think that they are doing the right thing. But however, if you can manage that carefully, I think that's a step to go for, although I wouldn't do that, to be honest with you.
Here's one more question, then I got to let you go because I got another caller lined up here.
Sure.
What you know all this? We hear the conspiracy theories that the financial sector wants us to be in debt. Do you buy into that? You're in the industry.
That's absolutely right, actually. I got my... No, I need to be honest with you. Because I myself, have my credit card limit, I had a raise on my credit limit without even notifying me. So I had to go back to the bank, and I told them, no, just get back to that limit which I first applied to. Yeah. And that's how I managed my credit card all the way, for the last 10 years.
Wow. Well, hats off.
And one more thing, actually.
Sure.
I always pay the maximum limit, which is 100%
Uh-huh.
of what I spend. So by the end of the month, it's automatically deducted from my salary. So I don't need to worry about that. It's 100% cut off.
There we go. That's the way to do it. You have to pay off the credit card.
Don't pay the
when you use it,
minimum. Yeah, don't pay the minimum.
which is so easy to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Mohammed, thank you very much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
And great
Thanks
advice.
for your good advice.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.
See, he's got great advice. That's the way to do it. And it's
Yeah,
so
definitely.
easy to say that I'm going to go a different route. And the route being pay the minimum, and when they up the limit, spend more. He's got the right. We got another caller on the line. We got Omar joining us. Omar, welcome to the program.
Hi, Omar.
Yo, thank you.
Hey,
Hi.
thanks for holding. You've got some advice on how we can tackle the debt problem. What
Yes.
do you suggest?
Actually, like it's a bit different from everyone because everyone is like advising not to use a credit card, not to get a credit card.
Yeah.
I advise otherwise, actually.
What?
But
What? Hold
yes.
on.
I've got 7 credit cards. And I'm using them
7 credit
perfectly.
cards?
Yes, to be quite honest, like I've got credit cards for each and every single thing. Like for school fees, I've got a certain credit card that gives me like hilarious points for school fees, and then like for utility bills, I get a lot of rewards points. So for each and every single use, I've got a credit. The thing is, I only use them as long as anyhow I'm gonna make this payment. So instead of paying it directly, I pay it through the credit card.
Okay, but you're paying off. You never have a balance. You always pay them off.
Exactly. No, it's actually the opposite. I pay in advance and use the credit card.
Wow.
Oh,
But then the banks got really smart. So nowadays they don't give you reward points for negative balance. So the thing is, I need to keep a day, a gap of a day at least, to be sure that I'll be in debt for a day and then I'll pay the next day off. I've got 7 credit cards. I never ever knew the due date of any of them. I just paid the next day. This is the only advice for credit cards.
So you've gamed the system in a sense. You've got all these credit cards. You're getting all the reward points. You're paying them off. You're just using it as
reaping in the benefits.
Yeah, you're just using it as a secondary element to your debit card. So you're.
But can you imagine something? After all this, I still paid some interest. Once I was Once there was a certain bank in Dubai. The total outstanding amount was around 18,000 dirhams.
Okay.
I paid the 18,000 dirhams. Apparently, it was 18,000 dirhams, 0.35 fils.
Of course.
So these 35 fils, I didn't pay them. When the interest came out, it came out on the full amount, which was 18,000 dirhams. So that was 219 dirhams. I never forgot that. That was a year ago.
Oh, man.
Exactly. See, but the thing is, for everyone, if you are in really debt with the credit cards, you can always ask for help from the central bank. They actually do help, especially if it's one of the banks that they really hate.
Yeah.
Without mentioning specific names.
Yeah, we don't want to mention any names. We're not naming
for sure.
No.
Yes, for sure. But you can actually ask for a lot of help from the central bank. I actually got these 219 dirhams back.
Wow.
Just because I kept complaining, and they actually did nothing. And then I complained to the central bank, and those guys although they have the right to do that, it was in the terms and conditions, and I actually read it. But just because instead of my headache, they just gave me my money back.
Yeah, see, that's a good thing to do. You're a good customer. You always pay it off. They would have seen this on their records. That was
Actually, they hate me each and every single year. For example, one of my credit cards, I've got 700 dirhams annual fees. Just before that, each and every single year, I call them, please close my credit card. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to pay the 700 dirhams. They actually revert the payment. They told me, all right, we'll give it for you for free, and we'll upgrade your card. Please stay with us because already
they want to keep you.
used a lot of their money. To be quite honest, yes. So if everyone used it, everyone did the same, they actually the banks will go bankrupt.
Wow. Omar, thank you very much for sharing this with us. It's great to hear someone who manages to game the system. You pay everything with credit cards. You've got credit cards for everything, but you pay off, and the key is you pay off the debt every month. In advance.
Yes.
And so you still get all the benefits. One last thing. I do have to let you go, but one last thing. You get any cool stuff? You get any cool stuff with the rewards from the banks?
At least per month, 750 dirhams in cash, apart from the points, which I usually use for monthly. I book a hotel room for my family.
Wow.
So, yes, only because using the reward points for the hotel, apart from the 750 dirhams cash back.
Wow.
So actually, I
That's
consider
good.
it as a budget right, nowadays.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, it's nice to hear like the other side of like people enjoying credit cards and not getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So thank
Yes,
you.
but
You know
so
what-
the only advice is pay in advance whatever you need, and never use it to buy something that you want, just what you need.
There we go.
Yeah, that's very good advice.
Omar, thank you very much, and talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So there we have great advice, Stephanie. This is the way to do it.
Yes.
Stephanie Kaur joining us, by the way, if you're wondering who my co-host is.
Hi.
And this is the call-in show, and we're talking about debt. We want to hear your good and bad stories. How are you managing not to go into debt? Do you have something going like Omar, who has succeeded very well in gaming the credit cards? Or are you like our first caller of the evening, who is in a very deep hole? We want to hear from you. Debt, how are you managing it? Stephanie Kaur joining us this evening. If you want to get involved in the program, and we're talking about debt, it's that simple.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So
We have a system in the studio so that I don't do all the talking. If you're wondering, Stephanie puts up her hand. Otherwise, as you all know, I will just talk and talk and talk.
yes, I've just raised my hand. FYI. So I think another issue could be that the banks don't educate people when they're opening their accounts and when they're offering them these fabulous deals of credit cards, and they're selling you the dream, but they don't actually tell you the small print. So I think that's also another issue that a lot of people are being faced with.
We need better financial education from the institutions that are lending to us.
Definitely, but then based on the calls that we've had coming in from people that actually work in the industry, they're telling us that they want everyone to fall into that trap. So I guess they're deliberately not educating people.
You've got a bank account. Have you read all the fine print?
No.
They make you sign all these things.
And it's like a big, thick terms and conditions.
Yeah, it's like
if you
3
print it out,
inches
yeah.
of small print that you need a magnifying glass, and you need a legal degree from Georgetown to understand, and you're just signing away. It's like, yeah, don't worry. It's all, and everyone's smiling, right? Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to get my commish. I'm happy. You're going to get some debt. Everyone's happy.
It's true. And I think that is something in general. When you have terms and conditions, you really should read them. Everybody signs without reading the small print.
There's no free lunch. So, yeah,
There's always a catch.
Yes, you might be getting a nice little iPad, but with that iPad and the credit card is going to come some debt. And beware that when you use it, if you do not pay it off in full, if as we had from our caller, he summed it up great. He says, I left 35 fills in the payment, so instead of paying it all off, 35 fills remained, and I got charged the full interest rate of that month on the entire amount.
It's just crazy.
That's criminal. That's just not nice. We want to hear from you. We want to hear about your debt, how you've managed to slay the debt monster, or are you having trouble? We want to hear from you. What are you doing? Where are you at, and what are you planning to do about it? Stephanie, I've got a couple of stats here. 50% of people have nearly maxed out their credit, is one of the stats. Second stat. So that's 50% of people have maxed out their credit at any given time. 50% of cardholders have maxed out their credit. Second stat, 60% spend a quarter or more of their monthly income on debt repayment.
That's
a quarter
insane.
of your salary on debt repayment.
So then it's also difficult for people to save anything or even...
45% of cardholders have monthly debt obligations beyond their financial means. 45% of people have. Can you imagine? That's almost half the population cannot meet their debt. I want to hear from you. Are you in that school, or are you okay? There's only one remedy. It says name and shame these banks that are doing these things. I mean, the problem is it's all of these banks that are doing these things, and maybe Stephanie's you've hit it right. You've scored the goal here in that we need to have more education. We need to have education in our schools, more financial education, and the financial institutions.
Definitely.
I think we need a watchdog who sort of, the financial institution watchdog who is making sure we're all familiar with what's going on with this debt. What does compound interest mean, and how does that work? That it's only it's only 4% interest, but it's compound, so that means you're spending a way more than that. And typical credit card interest rates are closer to 35% over a year, which is a lot of money.
That is a lot.
And that's
Very
legally.
much.
They're legal to do that. So yeah. Well, so yourself, Stephanie, how are you? What do you do? Just not charge stuff? Just smiling there.
What do you mean? What do I do?
To not fall into the debt trap.
Ask lots of questions.
Yeah.
That's number one. Yeah, I think you have to ask a lot of questions. Again, what a lot of the callers were also saying, only spend what you need, not for what you want. And additionally, I just feel that don't get caught up in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to do what everybody else is doing if you can't fund it, because a credit card isn't the answer.
Yeah. Debt is not the answer.
No, not at all.
It's the one thing though, easier said than done.
It is so much easier said than done.
So many times.
Again, when you're faced with school fees, when you're faced with accommodation fees.
Car, you want to get a better car? Do you want to be driving a Yaris? No, you don't want to drive a Yaris. You want to drive the Beamer.
Not that there's anything wrong with a Yaris.
There's nothing wrong with a Yaris. Nothing at all wrong. I love Yaris, and the boys from Motoring Middle East, they love the Yaris as well. Yeah. But we aspire, right? You go in there and you want to rent the cheapest thing you can, and they say, "Oh, you don't want that. You want to get this. It's only another
it's got
100.
A bigger engine.
Yeah, it's only 100 dirhams more a month, or 2 or 3, and next thing you know, it's
racked up a bill.
The debt. You can't do it. You can't service that debt. So be prudent. That's the key. Think before you swipe the cards or take on that debt, or else you could find yourself in a huge issue.
Definitely.
Stephanie, we've run out the clock on the call-in show.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Time's up already. It flies when you're having fun.
Time is up. We got to thank everyone who joined in on the phone lines and on the SMS lines. Really appreciate you taking the time to share with us, and look forward to doing it all again next week. Same place, same time on the call-in show. Stephanie Kaur, thank you for joining us once again on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be back.
And you know what? We'll talk to you again next week. Same place, same time.
See you next week.